Fans of the Madden NFL series and football gaming in general remember the glory days very well. The deep franchise modes of early Maddens, the presentation of NFL 2K5, the over-the-top action of games like NFL Blitz and NFL Street. And while we're still missing a lot of those things in current day football gaming, one of them might just be returning this year. This is EricRayweather, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the big possibility of NFL Street returning this year in Madden 21. While many people have asked for a standalone NFL Street game, I don't quite think we'll ever see that type of football game again. But if you take notice of how other sports games have been evolving, it's very likely that we could see a street mode added to the upcoming Madden game, and I have multiple reasons to back up why this will likely be happening. Now, before you think I'm just pulling your chain, remember that this time last year I predicted that career mode would be returning in Madden 20 based on previous things done by EA Sports as well as rumors that were circulating at the time. And that's exactly what wound up happening. While it wasn't the fully fleshed out superstar mode of old, it was the beginning of the career mode, which would then be named Face of the franchise. Now, the NFL Street Series is looked back upon as one of the best things to ever happen in sports gaming. It was over-the-top arcade action that took place on different fields and defied what typical football was. It was playground football, but with the best NFL players. You could run on the walls, you could throw opponents into the wall, deliver late hits, and everything else in between. We also had games like NBA Street and FIFA Street around this time as well. But eventually, the Street Series was a bit run into the ground and the series eventually ended. Now, if we fast forward to current day, we're starting to see the Street model inserted into sports titles. NBA 2K has My Park, which goes hand in hand with your personal player that you create in the game. You can play My Career with this guy, which is your standard offline career mode. But you can also take him online and play in the park versus other gamers, or you can play 5-on-5 Pro-Am games. You know, the possibilities are kind of endless. You can do so many different things with your created player. NBA Live would also incorporate this into their game. While the next version of the game has been delayed, you can still play NBA Live 19, which offers a wide variety of parks all over the world where you can play head-to-head or versus the computer. Now, of course, these park modes aren't the over-the-top NBA Street arcade style, but they do offer a more modern approach to what NBA Street was. You can play in all these different parks all over the world. You have your little special moves you can do. You can wear street clothes and customize your gear and things like that. It gives you somewhat of the feel of the old NBA Street games, but you're doing it with the more modern, better gameplay NBA games and with your created character more so than necessarily just playing with a NBA legend, even though you can in these modes at times go against other NBA players. Now, here's the thing. When the rumors were circulating about EA bringing back a career mode to Madden, those rumors also came with the possibility of a street mode being incorporated at some point. While Face of the franchise definitely has a lot of growing to do and was pretty limited in its first year of Madden 20, this could be the year that it takes the bigger leap and offers a lot more, especially with next generation consoles coming out later this year. It was said that EA wanted to make Madden's new career mode something like what you see with NBA 2K's My Career, or even in their own NBA Live game, which they can actually borrow directly from. NBA Live actually had a pretty solid career mode. The customization was really good, the progression system was nice, and you could play in the street tournaments, go online and compete in the park, participate in special online events, you name it. This was one thing that EA actually had done really well, in my opinion, over the past few years. But here's where it gets interesting. This past year, FIFA actually incorporated a street mode into their game. FIFA Street, or as it's better known in FIFA 20, Volta, was one of the big new additions to the game this year. And guess how they incorporated it? With your custom character. Build your player, pick your gear, and express your style on the streets is how it was marketed. Show off your skills and experience a new side of the world's game in 17 football playgrounds from across the globe. It's basically a more simplified version of the game played 5-on-5. The unique moves were easier to pull off, you could taunt and celebrate in a more grand way, you could shoot and pass the ball with flair, and you could even jump off the walls and do things like that you would see in the old street games. Sounds something close to what those games are actually like. There was also multiple ways to play it. You could play the Volta story, where you took your player across the world and faced off against various real-world legends of street football. You could build your squad up, recruit players, and aim to win the ultimate prize, the Volta Football World Championship. You also had the Volta Tour, where you match up against community-generated squads and a variety of single-player match types. You had Volta Kickoff, where you take your favorite professional teams back to the streets and compete throughout all of the Volta Football's locations and match types, including house rules. Now you're probably thinking, what does all of this have to do with Madden? Why is this relevant? Well, there's two reasons. First off, we already know that EA wants to build up their quote-unquote my player aspect of Madden, and started that with Madden 20. We've heard rumors that they want to implement a street version to the game where you can use your character, but the fact that FIFA got the exact thing this year is huge news for Madden. If there's one thing that has been consistent for years with EA Sports, it's that FIFA almost always gets big new features a year before it comes to Madden. This is something I point out every year on this channel when predicting what type of stuff we're likely to see in the next Madden game, because it is just that consistent. It is something that has happened for years and years. FIFA got Ultimate Team, Madden got it the next year. FIFA got the Journey Story mode, Madden got its version of that, which was the Long Shot Story mode the following year. FIFA got Weekend League, Madden got it the next year. Same with Real Player Motion, and the list goes on. Now, how exactly will they implement it into Madden? That remains to be seen. Will it be 7-on-7, 3-on-3? That we don't know. We know EA did have a 3-on-3 Madden arcade years ago, which was pretty fun, so we could see something like that potentially put into Madden. But another thing that's interesting is what EA actually did with Madden 20. Abilities played a big part in this game, both for regular play and for face of the franchise, so you'd bet that abilities would make even more sense in a street style mode. The other thing EA did was introduced the Superstar KO mode, which does have somewhat of a street concept to it. In that mode, you get your X Factor abilities active for the entire game. It's a lot more arcadey than the regular game. It's a short style of game that you can get over with in about 5 to 10 minutes. It's played in a special stadium with loud music and with celebrities incorporated. And that mode actually was very successful for EA this year. People love to pick up and play a less serious version of football. That's why the NFL Street games worked so well. So it's not really surprising that this mode is working well in current day Madden. Even though some of the more older school hardcore Madden gamers don't really see a need for it or don't really like the idea of it, it is still a big hit with the casual audience, which is the same thing that a street style mode or game would cater to as well. It seems like they already have the groundwork in place to go all out in the near future by allowing you to play in this type of a mode with your own player. They can expand the stadiums or venues, they can change the rule sets, which they've actually already done this year throughout the year in Superstar KO. They can add more customization to it, like the option to wear street clothes instead of uniforms, or for your custom character for you to design exactly what you look like with different accessories and gear, the same way it currently works in FIFA's Volta Street mode. And the list goes on. Now, I don't know for sure if they would use Superstar KO as the avenue to bring a street mode to Madden. I'm just saying it seems like it would be an option that would be on the table, because there is groundwork already laid in that, and they could probably expand upon it and allow you to engage in it in different ways. But they might also just create a completely new mode alongside this, which would resemble something like FIFA's Volta mode that was added this year. One thing's for sure, none of the things that were introduced this year are going away. Career mode is definitely something they want to expand. Abilities in Superstar KO were a big hit with the casual audience, and they're only looking to do more things with it going forward. Knowing all that, hearing the rumors, and then looking at what's been done in FIFA, it just seems like this could be the year that we see some type of NFL Street incorporated into Madden. And when you consider that the next generation consoles are also launching later this year, I would assume that EA wants to make a big splash with that. So the question is this something that you want to see incorporated? Do you want to see face of the franchise grow into be something that resembles more of a my career in NBA 2K, where you can play in the street or you can play in the league? Do you want to see this type of a separate game mode where, hey, you can just pick up and play and have some over-the-top football and just have some fun when you're not trying to take the game so seriously? Let me know below what you think. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Check out some of these other videos right here, and I will see you guys next time.